Check, check, check. Can you hear me? 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 Okay, so it looks like the audio is okay. So anyway, I was saying, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so it looks like I've been having a lot of technical issues lately, so hopefully this should be fine now. Sorry about that, anyway, guys. So, I was saying, having a lot of technical issues lately, so hopefully this should be fine now. Sorry about that, anyway, guys. So, I was saying, having a lot of technical issues. Okay, there we go. So, it says audio is looping. That's strange. Is this much better now? Is this still looping? Or it's much better? Okay, so I hear it's okay now. All right, so again, sorry about that. Anyway, guys, like I was saying in the beginning, I've just began doing some live, not live streaming. I've been doing some vlogging, and it's been crazy because this is the first time I've actually gone in public and recording in public. So if you haven't watched any of those videos, please go to the link. In fact, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch my latest vlogs. It's been quite fun creating them, but you know what? There's a large learning curve. It's crazy. I have to learn a lot when it comes to creating videos out there. In fact, yesterday, I was actually rushing and I've recorded it. Me going to buy some ND filters for my camera, and also a brand new lens. So I've documented that, but it was really crazy. You know, everyone watching you while you're doing the live, the vlogging. But you know what, I'm getting used to it, and this is a challenge that I've set myself, and I think it's also good for everyone out there who only see me behind the desk to really see me in my different environments, even when I'm on holiday or when I'm traveling and stuff like that. So I'll be making a lot of those videos, and it looks like a lot of people like them, actually. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, so we have a list of websites that I'll be reviewing today, and the list is in the video description. So if you want to follow along with me, we can always, take a look at them, and we'll, have a look at them now. Right. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you all to the show. I have quite a lot of you here. Ratapula, Victor Rocks, XX. We also have Ahmed, Ben Gray, Fax Corporation, Beverly. We also have Stanford. Oh, I've mentioned Stanford already. Let's have a look. Who else is here? Top Tech One. Luis Eduardo, good to see you too. Who else haven't I mentioned? Let's have a look here. Gail, good to see you from Ohio. Top Tech. We also have Kipondo from, I think he was from DRC, because I noticed that I saw that comment earlier on. All right. So what we're going to do now, in fact, I can see some of you might not be seeing me in full HD, but if you refresh your browser, you should be able to see me in HD. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through some of the websites that were submitted for reviews. And by the way, if you want to submit your website as well, you can head over to macuniversity.com/reviews. Okay, so the first website we have here was submitted before, but it went for a redesign, and this is now what it looks like. And to be honest, just by looking at this, I really love what's happening here. The colors, the contrast. In fact, the design is way much better now. Now, as I'm looking through this, I like the fonts, the consistency. Everything seems to be, laid out in a very neat way. And I don't know if you've noticed this. There's a little animation happening here, and this is very subtle. and it is really, really, really well done. In fact, let me go to the top and see if I can refresh this page so you can see it. Okay, now let's take a look at that animation. Even the way this button comes in, look at that. This is great. So the animations are very, very subtle, and the design is not really overboard, which is very, very important, because I think I've mentioned this before, that when you design your website, don't use excessive animations. Just use subtle animations. They go a very long way. Okay, so as I scroll down here, let me show you that animation I was talking about. So if you look at close to the bottom of the page, you see how the animation is coming through? Very subtle. Very, very well done. And over here as well, I like the use of this image in the background, but as you can see, a lot of care has been taken to really make sure that this is looking well. In fact, this website was submitted by Sebastian. When we look at this section here, we can see the content itself is very easy to read, and this was separated very well here from the image in the background, and I really, really like that. On the bottom here, again, we have a nice section, and as you can see, the colors here are very consistent. They're all from the logo, so that's looking really nice. The icons also follow the colors from the brand, from the color palette, which is fantastic. Now, over here as well, the testimonials done really well. So overall, I'll say this page is looking really, really, really nice. I don't have, to be honest, any negative thing I could say about this page. It looks really, really, really well done. Okay, so let's see and have a look at some of the inside pages and see what they look like. So let's click on New Inventory. Let's have a look at that. Wow. Again, this is really nice. I like the image in the background. But what I would like to say about this image as well is this image is pixelated. It's not high res. Ideally, this would be even much better if this was high res. It's not high res. So again, I know I've mentioned this before. When it comes to your images, please make sure you use high res images. It makes the website look much, much better. Okay, so again, the layout of the page looks really nice. When I scroll down here, the content is separated in a really nice way. And even here, the subtle animations and also this box here, well done. And over here as well, I really like the way this content is laid out. The only thing I'd like to talk about here now is this section divider. You can see on the first page, we didn't have this section divider. All of a sudden, it's appearing now. So here's the thing. If the rest of the pages have this section divider on the bottom, then it's going to be okay. But before I comment more on that, let's take a look at the other pages. So I'm going to go on routine inspections. Let's have a look at that. Okay, this is much better. Do you see how this image really makes this design look beautiful? I mean, I really, really like what's happening here. And again, Sebastian here is using a page template. So you can see the inside pages all follow the same sort of structure, which is brilliant. I really, really like this. Okay, so it looks like this section divider is pretty much on the rest of the pages. We'll do it one more time and see what that looks like. Let's go to landlords. Now, on this page, this image here is cut off, so you need to make sure that this image here looks great on even larger monitors. So right now, this does not look really good. So the heads are all cut off. Other than that, the page also still follows a page template, which I think is fantastic. So let's go all the way down and see. Okay, so this section divider here, the bottom divider, looks like it's consistent on all the pages. So that is really good. Right, so let's go to the pricing page. Let's see how that is designed. Okay, again, we're having the same problem here. The face is here. I mean, the face here is cut off. But if I make this smaller, the browser smaller, you can see the image now looks okay. But as I mentioned, as you're designing, make sure you take a look at all browser sizes. Or screen sizes, because this is what happens. I have a 27-inch, and this is why things are appearing this way. And by the way, if you have any comments at any stage, as I'm doing this live stream, you can always add your comments in the comments box below. Okay, so as I mentioned, this page looks really nice. I mean, the layout is great. Everything looks very consistent. So I'm just going to look at the contact page here and the blog and see how that looks. Again, I really love this. The contact page has the phone numbers here. I mean, this is actually quite different. You know, in most cases, you see contact pages with the form. And also, looking at the form here, this was customized because it's not the same out of the box as it comes out of the DV theme. So this extra step to go in and design that contact form page to make it look like your own is exactly what what you're supposed to be doing. This is great. I really like the way you've done this. This is fantastic. Now again, here I like the use of phone numbers and also the button to book now. So I'm just going to click on the button here because I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, so this scrolls down to this area here. I think this is really, really, really nice. I love this. Okay, so I noticed one thing here. Now, because your website has, I mean, I think it looks better without the curved section divider. So what I would do here is I would just keep the section divider. I mean, remove the section divider, which is curved, and just have, you know, just the standard, because that is just, you know, it's much cleaner. And as I look at this page, the contact page, it looks really, really nice. So I'll just keep it, you know, keep it simple, not have the curved section divider on the bottom, and just have it as a straight line. And I'm sure you would agree with that. In fact, what do you guys think? The section divider which has a curve on the bottom, or should this just be, you know, the normal one as you see here on the bottom? What do you guys think? Okay, there's a question here. How can I submit my site for review? I would say go to Mac University. In fact, let me add it here. macuniversity.com/reviews. Okay, so that's where you can go to submit your website for reviews. Right, so Ahmed here saying he likes a curve. Beverly, curve. Al Mamoon says normal. Normal looks better. I like the curve, but it's a little personality to the pages. Ben from Ben. Okay, so it looks like we have different opinions here. But to be honest, it's very subtle. Either one works. My personal preference is just a normal, you know, just a normal section, but it doesn't mean that the design is bad with the curve. It's just a preference, here. Now, the final thing I want to say about this website, or in fact, before I do that, why don't we take a look at the blog page? Because sometimes the blog page can look, you know, very basic depending on if a design has been done to it. All right, so let's take a look at the blog here. Wow, I like that. Okay, so as you can see here, again, this is a custom designed blog page. I really, really like the way it's done here. The only thing is I would perhaps maybe even make, make this image here a bit dark so that latest news really stands out. Other than that, I think this is really nice. I like the way this page has been designed. Also here on the sidebar, we have the follows. That's great. And even this negative margins, I like the way this was done. This is fantastic. This is really nice. I like this. Very simple, very nice. Let's go into the blog itself. Okay, so the blog itself, yeah, I think that works as well. You have a call to action here. Yeah, nice and simple. So overall, I would say this is a massive, massive, massive improvement from how we saw it before. This was well done. And Sebastian, job well done. Just fix those two things as I mentioned. Your images, make sure your images are all high res. I know in some cases they are high res, in some cases they are not. So make sure they're all high res. And also, you need to crop your images and make sure they fit on all image screens, because you don't want to have someone visit your page and, you know, the heads are cut off because they're watching it from a from a larger screen. So that's the only thing I would say you need to go and fix right away. So anyway, I would say this is really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to pass it over to the viewers. What do you guys think about this design? Do you agree with me that this design is well done, and basically everything is really working here in terms of the colors, the layout, pretty much how everything else was done on this website looks really, really good. Do you agree with me? Ratzenfuller says, I'll give it a B++. Nice. That's good. So at least we have someone that agrees with me. That's good. All right, let's give it a grade. What grade would you give this website? Come on, guys. Give me your grades in the... okay, Ahmed here says A+. Okay, good. Okay, what grade would you give this website? Right, so while you're adding all that, I'm just going to add my the next website here. Jose says B+, B+. Andy says A. Okay, that's great. So it is a good design. Wow. So we have quite a lot of A's, A+, A+. Nice. That is fantastic. Okay, I'm sure Sebastian will be very happy with that. All right, so let's move on to the next website. So this one here was just submitted by the person that submitted it, just added student. You know, I guess maybe they didn't want to share the name. But anyway, let's go through it and have a look at the design. Okay, I can see some more feedback is coming here. We have A+, A+, A's. That's fantastic. So we haven't seen a C so far, so that is really, really good. All right, so this is our next website. It's called True Purity. And right, so let's have a look here. So, okay, so it's an e-commerce website. So the first thing I'm going to say here is, Ben Gray says, is Sebastian a pro designer or an individual? As far as I'm concerned, Sebastian is an individual, because the first time he posted this website, because I've reviewed his website before, so the first time he posted his website, I gave him a lot of feedback, and most of it was pretty much a lot of work that he had to do. So he went away, worked on the website. I guess he made a list of all the things that I said he should fix. And he pretty much revamped his whole website, sent me an email and said, look, this is my new design. Can you review it again? So as far as I'm concerned, he's just a normal designer, just like, anyone out there. But it's the feedback that he took on board, which he went on and, implemented. And this is the result. So I think he's definitely done a very good job. Okay, so let's switch over here. Let's take a look at our website. So the first thing I'm going to say here is there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. There's a few things that needs to be done right out of straight away. First of all, this logo, True Purity here, needs to be over here on the top left. This is what we are used to when we take a look at websites. It shouldn't be right here in the middle, because this is not bringing any value. In fact, this is where the value proposition is supposed to be. People need to know what this website is about when they come to the website. So the real message here, we process and supply grown bitter apricot oil and more. This is supposed to be really large here on this area here, not the logo. Okay, so I would move this logo, change the logo color, put it in the top left of the website. On the top here, these navigations, again, the use of contrast is not brilliant. The colors here are very close. I mean, we can't really read. We really have to go close to make out, what is happening on the top here. So what I would do is to just have a solid color here on the top. and to create a better contrast, and then just switch the, or maybe even make it white, to be honest. That would be much better. Now, in terms of the message here, well, the image is not bad, but I would actually maybe have my information here over here to the left, where we have more of this white space, and then have our image as it is on this section. Now, moving on over here, prevention is absolutely the best. I don't know about this section divider here. I would perhaps maybe even get rid of that and just keep this page simple without this divider here. It's not adding any sort of like design, or it's not making the page any better, if you know what I mean. It's not really blending into this, so you can see the fruits here are cut off. So I would remove this section divider here on the bottom and just have this message here on this white background. Now, when it comes to the products here, the products that have been added onto the website, okay, they're okay. I mean, the quality is good. You know, when you look at it, it's not too bad. So the products are good. Now, moving on here, this, I would totally take this away right away, because this is not, again, not adding any value. It's zoomed way too much in. So I would get rid of this section completely. Remember, you know, design is not just about decoration. The design, anything that you add onto your website, it needs to add value. It needs to communicate something positive. So having these three apricots right there in your face, it's not really saying much. And to be honest, they are really cut off, you know. So I would remove that section off completely. So again, when you look at the newsletter here, again, it's surrounded by all this, you know. It's the message that we really want to take a look at here. And I think this is taking away where my eye is supposed to look. So it's not really bringing a lot of value. So I would just have this as a solid color, a color from your color palette. And also here, I don't think this is enough to convince me to sign up onto the newsletter. So I would, again, revise this message and perhaps give me a better reason why I need to join the newsletter. Because right now, I don't think I'll trade my email for that message. Okay? So there's a few things that need to be done here to make it look better. Ratapula here says it has hover on description products. Oh, really? Let me have a look. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Okay, that's a nice touch. I think that's really cool. Yeah, that's a nice touch. Okay, so let's take a look at the product page. So this is just a standard WooCommerce website. But now you see the problem that I mentioned earlier on about the logo. Do you see what's happening here? The logo is nowhere to be seen on this page. So this is what I was talking about earlier on. You need to make sure your logo is on all the pages on your website. So this is why it's important to have it on the top left throughout your whole website. Now, on the top here, because this background is white, it's easier for us to read these navigations now. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the inside pages. So again here, we are still having the same sort of problem. I would zoom out of these apricots, show more of these apricots, and again, remove this logo, put it in the top right. And you know, in fact, you know, pretty much what I mentioned earlier on is what needs to be done here. Again, on the section here, I mean, on this row, the row is too wide, so I would bring this a little bit in, because it's just way too much to read across the screen. Secondly, the font here is way too small. I would make that font a bit bigger to make it easier to read. Right now, it's a bit too small. Let's go to the products here. So again, on the products here, I can see there's a, you don't have a variety of images. You seem to have the same image going through the whole website. So this is not working. And I can see a message here from Ratapula. I agree 100%. The logo should be green. Yes, because we're talking about fruits. We're talking about plants. So green will be a very, very good color to add there. If you just add blue onto that, this will just totally make the web. I mean, it just wouldn't work. So I agree, Ratapula. Thanks for your comment. The logo needs to be green. And here, these products look way too big. They're just way, way, way too big. So I would make these slightly smaller to make this page look much better. Okay, we've already spoken about the newsletter section here. The footer, to be honest, I think the footer is nice. I like the footer. I like the icons. The color here of the icons, this is fantastic. I like that. And let's go on the contact page and have a look. And again, we have the same image throughout the whole website. This just shows that you don't have a lot of images. You need to have a variety of images. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of images that you can, take of apricots or the fields, a lot to make this website really, really, really exciting. Okay, so here, I think this image which says contact us, I think you just need to get rid of that and just add maybe an address on this section. Again, this is an image which is not really telling us a lot. And again, the section dividers here, I think you just need to get rid of the section dividers and keep your page simple. All right, so there's a lot that I covered there. So again, what do you guys think? I honestly think there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this website. The images, we need a variety of images to be added on there. And also the colors. We need to make sure the logo has a color on the white background. When it comes to the font is way too small. I think the font will be much better if it was slightly bigger. It's easier to read that way. And also the width of the rows, it's a bit too wide. It just needs to be brought in a little bit. And I think some of the products as well, they are way too big. So what could be done around there and make it look better? So in fact, I'm beginning to enjoy this now. What grade would we give this website, in your opinion? What grade would you give this website? And I'm sure, I think the name is just students. So if you're watching this, or perhaps if you're watching this at a later stage, take a look at this as constructive criticism. We're not just here to bash designs. We really want to give you tips, advice to make your websites look better. So don't take this personal. This is about helping each other improve the websites. As you've seen in my first review, I really went in and gave a lot of criticism on Sebastian's website. But you know what? He took a positive stance. He came back. He redesigned the website. And to be honest, it's been getting A+ throughout, even in the comments. So let's take a look here. So Curtis says can rank too many issues. Ratapula says B. Curtis also says doesn't look complete, and I agree with you. It looks like it's lacking a lot of information. There's a lot that could be done to make this website even more complete. So I agree. Jose says C+. I would agree with that. I think it's around the C. In fact, I would give it a C, to be honest. So yeah. Ahmed says C, well done for a starter. Yes, I mean, if a student is just a beginner here and is just getting started, I would say it's a good start, but take on what I've mentioned here, implement those, and this website could actually go up to an A. I believe that. Ben Gray also says C+, has a good foundation, but needs a bit more improvement. Dark green on the logo will be consistent with natural. I agree 100%. Okay, Kipondo says C as well. Yes, I think Ratapula says I gave him a B, but not sure. Not to be so rude. No, I mean, it's not being rude, to be honest. I think if something needs really good improvement, we have to be honest, because if we say, oh yeah, the website is okay, they may not take that step to improve. So Ratapula, give your honest, your honest review. I mean, I don't think you're being rude if you're giving your honest, opinion. We're here to just help each other out and pick out those things that will make our designs look much better. Okay. Right, so I guess it's time to move on to the next one, and the next website was submitted by Clive. Okay, so let's take a look here. And by the way, I haven't even looked at these websites beforehand, so let's see. So, oops. Okay, so this one here was submitted by Clive. There's a message here from Ben, says, if the goal is to have positive responses from customers, then improvement is in order. Oh, we have Venus IT Solutions just joining us, saying, hi, Mac. Good to see you, Venus. You're a bit late, though. Right, okay. So let's take a look at this website. This was submitted by Clive. So first of all, the image here that we have on this main hero area, first of all, it's not completing the whole section. So I would really make this image, go all the way to the edges. This will make this, much, much better. And also, this white text on this background doesn't really work. So you need to have contrast. Contrast is very, 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 very important. And I can't stress this, enough. I've been talking about contrast. It may seem like a basic concept, but to be honest, it takes your designs really, really, really far. Making sure that things are easier to read on your page. I mean, the point of our websites is for people to be able to read our message. Okay? So if you're having a light background with white text, the message is going to be hidden. You can't really read. People have to really come close to see what your website is about and what you're really talking about on the page. So I think this is not a well done hero area on this website. So again, the color here, this doesn't really work well. I would have a consistent color here. In fact, you know what? If we have time towards the end of this live stream, I'm going to do a quick demo on how you can get a nice looking hero image with great contrast. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick example and show you different ways you can do this. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so moving on. This section divider, again, there's no need for this section divider. I would really take this off. Again, it's not really adding anything onto this page. Now, this gray that was used here, and again, I don't think Clive here is using a color palette, because I'm starting to see quite a lot of colors here. I'm seeing an orange here, there's blues, there's dark blue, there's gray. There's quite a few colors going on here on this page, so I'm not pretty sure. I may be wrong, but I don't think a color palette is being used here. Now, I would keep this white here. Now, moving on again, I think this could be improved because the icons are just way too big. The colors, I mean, this white. To be honest, I would say, maybe even have a solid color here in the background and not have the images, because it looks like the image is taking away a lot of the message on the page. So I would remove these images here and just have these as normal blurbs and make this again slightly smaller, the icons. Now moving on here. On these testimonials, I would remove these little icon on the top there. And again, one mistake that a lot of new designers do is this button here. This is straight out from the Divi module. So you do need to take that extra step and make your buttons look unique. There's so many ways you can add. You can add gradients, animations. There's so much you can do, different colors to make your buttons look different. So remember, Divi, out of the box, it's just a basic template, or I would say foundation, to build your websites. So you need to take that extra step and make these designs different. Don't use them the same out of the box. Even the fonts, change the fonts, use your own fonts and add some personality to your websites. Okay. So that's what I would do here. I would definitely change this button and allow Sonia's clean sweep to service you. It's simple, affordable, and convenient. Right. Again, book in 60 seconds. Okay, let's see what happens when I go to booking. Okay. I would even design this page, make it look much better than that, to be honest. Add some imagery, make it look a bit more convincing, you know, for someone to want to take on. In fact, what's the service here? Maid and cleaning service serving the Metro Atlanta area. Yeah, I mean, I would add even, in fact, now that I've read that, to be honest, what I would do is show the maids actually working, happy. You just show them in the context, in the environment, okay? Because when you look at this, it looks like a real estate website. So your images that you use need to relate to the message that you have. They need to complement each other. So I would think about using a different image compared to the image that you've used on this website. Okay, let's move on and let's take a look at other pages. So I'm going to come over here to services. Okay, so this is much better, but we have the same problem we had with the previous website where the head is cut off. Okay, and also this image here is not a high res. Okay, this needs to be a high res image, but the idea here is good. Okay, because it's showing the maids actually working. I think that's good. And all of a sudden here we have this big font. Okay, this solid font. Keep the message consistent. Need help? Let's have a look here. And again, this is just how it is out of the Divi modules. I would go in and really style this, make it look much better. Gift cards. Let's have a look here. Okay, now I'm not sure if this works, but I would add a bit more information here, design the page, and not have this blue in the background here. I would just perhaps maybe even have a picture of a family, you know, people happy, you know, just to show that the gift card is making them happy, you know, something along those lines. Okay, and this login here, I'm not sure where this is taking us. Okay, I guess this is probably a different app, okay, because it's taken me to a different website. All right, so overall, I would say there is a lot of work that needs to be done on this website. The images need to reflect what this website is about. It's very, very important. I would also work on the value proposition. Go in and describe what your website does and what people should do, okay? The testimonials as well, try and redesign them, make them look really nice. But if you haven't used, in fact, this was submitted by Clive. Clive, if you haven't used a color palette, I would highly recommend you go and choose a really nice color palette and just use that throughout your website. Because right now, I am seeing a lot of colors going on around. You have too much blue, in fact, and you're using quite a lot of colors there. And just by looking at it, I don't think this is a color palette. I don't think it's coming from a color palette. Your fonts needs to be also consistent. Go in, use the same size font throughout your whole website for your content and your headings. Also use a different font for the buttons. Make sure you design your own buttons in Divi. Your call to action is way, way, way to the bottom. I think this was also mentioned in the comments. Make sure your call to action is somewhere visible where people can see it, not all the way down, because sometimes when people come to websites, they don't go all the way down to the bottom of the website. Okay, so that's what I have. And guys, one more time, what grade should we give Clive here? And like I said, we are here to help each other. And hopefully, if Clive is watching this, Clive, you should know. I mean, should go back, take this advice on board, and make your your website look even much better. Okay, we are here about improving our design, just using basic principles. And like I mentioned, if you're on this live show, stick around, because I'm going to show you how to create very good contrast in your designs. Basic principles. Okay, I'm getting here. Al Mamoon says B. Okay. Carmen says ciao, I think. Jeff says, how do I submit my website for review? Okay, Jeff, go to macuniversity.com/reviews. I think I added in here. Let me see. Hey, Monique, good to see you. I know it was supposed to be, the live stream was supposed to be on Crowdcast, but I've been having problems, connecting my mixer and all of that. So I decided to move it on to YouTube. But anyway, good to see you. Good to see you. Right. If you want to submit your website for reviews, it's macuniversity.com/reviews. In fact, let me type it here. macuniversity.com. Okay, so you need to submit your website over there. Beverly says it's a great start and you've done a lot of work. I would take what has been suggested and it will just get better. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Agante, good to see you as well. Right. Okay, so in terms of your reviews, come on, guys, I need some more. I've only got Ahmed, Ben, and Ratapula here submitting their reviews. What grade do you think this website is at the moment? And the idea of this grading system here, I think we've just added this onto our live shows, is to bring the website back up to, or back to A if it's not at an A. So please add your grades in there. So already I can see there's some D's, Ratapula C-. I would agree with that, D, C- around there, because there's quite a lot of work that needs to be done here on this website. And just also another thing, cleaning websites, I think you need to use nice clean colors, the yellows, the blues. I think those colors would work really, really well for this type of project, okay? Right, so let's see. We also have a D here. Yes, I would agree with that as well. Ian says C, make sure text is easy to read when you have an image behind. Yes, and like I said, if you're just joining us, I am going to do a quick demo where I'm going to show you how to add good contrast on your hero images. Okay, this is very important because I'm seeing this all the time. I know I've done tutorials in the past, but this is a very, very easy fix to make your website, your hero image, to make your message easier to read on the background. I'm going to do a quick demo before we end the live stream. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So the next one here was submitted by Matisse. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, right. Have we... Okay, so first of all, I would say I like the idea of having that video background. I think that's good. However, this text that we have here, okay, Ascendance Consulting, it's not very clear. It's okay, that's what it is, but what's the message? What does the company do? What's the value proposition? It's not there. So this is where Matisse, is it Matisse? Let me just double check again. I don't want to get the name wrong. Yeah, I think it's Matisse. Right, you need to go back, think about your value proposition. What does your website do? And how does it benefit anyone? So, for example, you would need a paragraph or just maybe 3-4 lines describing what your website is about and why people should care, okay? So just saying Ascendance Consulting, it's not much. And this is where you'll get very, very high bounce rate because people need to know what your website is about on that hero area. Having a video playing in the background, it's good, but that message needs to be added on there. Okay. Now I'm not going to read what it is here because it's a different language. I'm not sure what language this is, but this section here, okay, that's not too bad. And here, I'm not sure if this is by design, but these rectangles, they all need to be the same size because in design, having that pattern is very, very important, okay? Things need to look, things need to have an order on the page. So make sure that these are pretty much the same, okay? Now, these images here, I guess these are testimonials. The images are way too big on the testimonials. I would make those images slightly smaller. I like what you've done here with the names, just giving this a bit of character. That's really nice. It's a different touch to this. And this is what I was mentioning in the previous review, that change your buttons, make them look different. However, I think this name here could be maybe somewhere on the description here. Having it here on the side, I think that's a bit confusing. It's looking like a call to action button. So that's why I would just have the name normal here. Okay, and as I mentioned, these images here, they just look way too big. I would make them really, really small and keep the design simple. Okay, now this section here is okay. Now, if this is a button, a call to action button. Okay, so that works. Okay, so let's go back. Right, so moving on. Okay, this is not too bad. That's fine. I think this is, yeah, again, these are the same sizes. So I really like the way this is the same size. And I'm noticing now lorem text. So I guess this website is not complete. So Ted, Matisse, if this website is live, or perhaps maybe it's just for me to review, you just need to make sure and remember that you should not add websites out there that are not complete. It doesn't really look professional. However, I'm just going to review the design itself. So that's what I would do here on the top. And I guess I'll swap this services here to be just below this hero area here, and then have this information here below that. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these pages here. Okay, this is nice. I mean, we can read the text here. I guess that's fine. This is also okay. Yeah, I think this is a much better design compared to the home page. Okay, we seem to have a problem here. Whatever is happening here, it looks like this text is not easy to read. This needs to be done properly because we can't read the text here. Let's go to the services page. Okay, I would make this image slightly darker so that this is easy to read. But the idea, the concept is good. Not sure if the image is right though. Okay, so moving on. I guess it's getting better in terms of layouts. Now, I've just noticed that we are having too many call to actions here. I would remove all these, the contact forms on the bottom of all these pages, to be honest, because it's just too much, for people to act on. So this actually will cause this not to convert very well, because there's just so much, information to add in. Like we have a form here, we also have another one here. So I would separate this properly just to make things easier when people go to the page. And let's have a look at the blog page. Oh, I really like the way this blog page is done. This is beautiful. I like this image here in the background. And I would also make it slightly darker as well, because it's easy to read, but I'll make it slightly darker. And I also like the use of negative margins here. I think that's really nice. And even the animation here coming in, I think this is really good. Okay, and also I also need to mention that on the sign up form here, I can see that this was redesigned. I think that's really good. It's giving it a bit of character. Moving on, I think I've mentioned this already. This needs to be fixed here. Now on the contact page, I think this contact page is well done. I like the use of the map there and the address. I think this is really good. Nice, simple. Yeah, I think the contact page here is the best design out of this whole website. I really like the way it's done. It's been done. Okay, so Jeff here says black overlay versus white would look a lot better on the header images. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Ratipula says, I like the header of the initial page. What if I saw it? What if I saw that it was missing? Was a small explanatory text? Yes. The header is okay, but it's just, you know, the explanation text, which is also known as the value proposition, that's missing here. Definitely. I think that's something that needs to be added on to this website. Okay, so other than that, I think basically, Matisse, if you go ahead and make those changes, I think this website would look definitely much better. I can see here you have... I mean, your fonts are nice. It's easy to read. I think that's great. We don't have to do any changes here on the fonts. I think that's great. But I think this area here needs to be reworked. You know, the testimonials need to be redone. But other than that, the inside pages, the design is not too far off. But I would add a bit more images and add good contrast within your pages. And again, I'd like to take this to the viewers. What do you guys think? What grade would you give this website? So go ahead and post your grades in the comments box. Right, so I'm just going to cue the next website here. Okay, so we have a B from Ratipula. Okay, we have a C from Ahmed. Okay, we have also a B from B plus from B plus from Jose. That's good. I would give it a B, to be honest. Because of the few things that need to be added onto or fixed on the main page. But other than that, you know, the inside pages are not really, really bad. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next website. Now, I've already done this website. I remember this website. Yeah, in fact, I've done this and nothing has been updated since my last review. So I guess this was a double post. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we have Omega Consulting Service. And again, as I mentioned before, the contrast is not working here. The text, jobs in Greece for English speakers. I can pretty much make out what the website is about here. But as you can see in the background, we also have find the right people in the background there, that image. That image is really taking a lot out of this design because it's making the text much more difficult to read. So that's why I would get rid of this image, use a better one, or even just have a dark background if it's, or use an image which doesn't have a lot of text in the background. Okay. So, okay. So it looks like this is a search thing. Okay. The font here is not too bad. I like that. Now here we go. When it comes to the icons being used here, these icons are not great at all. I would use an icon pack, or I would actually go in and use, even if it means the default icons that come in with Divi, because this, you know, it's too pixelated, it's too big. I would not definitely use this if you want to make your website look professional. Okay, now moving on here, this video, again, it looks squarish. I don't know how that happened, because usually if you use the video module, it shows the video in a normal aspect ratio of 16:9. So I don't know how the hell this happened. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is not too bad, but this, I'm not sure what's being shown here. I would rather have a full image of this phone, because I'm not sure what this is really showing. And again, the use of these icons, I mean, they're way pixelated. I would improve those. I guess this is coming from the blog. This is not too bad, actually. Testimonials are good as well. I like the use of parallax, and now this image is much easier to read. As you can see, this is much better. This is great. And the footer is good as well. In fact, what I'll add to the footer here is to balance it out, I would have something here in the middle. It looks like something is definitely missing. So make sure you add something else onto the middle here just to complete the footer. Other than that, the footer, I mean, the color, it's not too bad. So let's move on and let's see, post a job. Okay, so I guess this is just a simple form. Okay, yeah, this looks nice. I mean, it's easy to read. I guess this is okay. Testimonials as well, but just looking at this, I can see that there's more content that could be added onto this website. Okay, the privacy policy, that's fine. Okay. Just by looking at this website, I think there could be more information that could be added here for this consulting service. Case studies, perhaps even more. I know we have a video here. Okay, we won't play that. But I would have more of these, and definitely we want to be able to go in and change these icons. Those icons are not great. I would change those icons. And also it looks like we don't have a consistent color palette here. Just looking at these icons and the way color is being added. I know there's a green there. Okay. So basically that's what I would do here. I would just do a few of those tweaks, and I think the website will look definitely much better. So again, what grade do you think this you'd give this website? I would give it I'll perhaps maybe give it a C, because I think there's a lot more work that could be done on the site in terms of adding more images and also specifying its and also on these inside pages where you have the search, even having more videos, case studies, and stuff like that. Because the idea is to make sure that people, are convinced about the service that you are, that you're providing. So I would add a bit more content, a bit more meat to the bone, as they say. Okay, we have a D from Radapula. We also have Ahmed giving it a C minus. Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely, a lot more could be done there. Roland says you've had over 20 people waiting for you to come online on the other YouTube live link. How is that? That's strange. Roland, can you just share that live link over here, please? I'm surprised that that's happening. Oh, so I added I scheduled the live stream and then went live. So I'm not sure if, or I guess maybe definitely what you're saying is the people waiting for me on the scheduled one are not actually seeing what I'm doing, which is strange. Oh, so the link didn't work. That's not good. Okay, if it's buffering, can you refresh the page, please? Once you refresh the page, it should work fine. Oh, I'm really, really sorry about this. In fact, you know what? Perhaps maybe next time, this will just be back on... Oh, you can't post a link here. That's strange. Wow, that's a great, great, great mistake. So if I have 20 people waiting for me, it's really painful. All right. This is really, really sad, you know? All right, so that's the link to submit your website. So this is the final website that we're reviewing today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into my dashboard here and quickly show you how to add good contrast on your website. Okay. Something happened. It's saying live stream offline. Okay, looks like we're back online. Okay, I'm really, really sorry. I didn't realize that this is what happened today, that on that link, it didn't automatically go live when I was live streaming. So I'm really, really sorry about this. But what I'll do is I'm really going to go back and look at trying to fix Crowdcast, because it's been very consistent, you know, throughout our live streams. Crowdcast has been. So if that doesn't work, I'm going to try and use Demio. It's like a webinar platform, but again, it has a very good notification system. So I guess that's what we'll use if Crowdcast is not working properly. So I really apologize for this. I know you're all looking forward to this Saturday live stream. So what I will do, yeah, it looks like this is still buffering. This is crazy. In fact, you know what I will do is I will create a tutorial on how to, hopefully you can still hear me. I'll create another tutorial on how to create great contrast on your website or hero area, or basically, you know, on your images, and share it in the comments box. So I guess we can just finalize today's live stream. And I would also like to say I'm really, really sorry about what happened today. I didn't realize that the link I sent, people was actually still waiting for me there while I was doing this live stream. So I really apologize for that. And next week, we should be back to normal. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you again next Saturday. I'm not sure what we'll be talking about, but I will post, you know, I'll post things way ahead of time so that we are all on the same page. All right, have a great weekend. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Thank you.